Hey guys, my name is BJ Min from HowExpert.com. Welcome to another series of How Expert interviews. Today we have an amazing interview with a very interesting person with an interesting topic. Her name is Pinar Alsac, the author of the book Toy Photography 101. Okay, it's available on Amazon, and below this video you can check out on the description the book, the ebook, the paperback, and the audiobook in the future. And if we have additional courses related to it, you can check out the description. I want to do a quick, before we get into the interview, I want to read a quick bio about the author, okay, the expert author, Pinar. So here we go. Born in 1981, Pinar Alsac spent a significant part of her life playing with toys. She has always been fond of photography, and she started taking pictures as soon as she got her hands on her father's camera around the age of 15. After learning the existence of social media, she decided to combine two of her hobbies and became a toy photographer, okay? She is constantly learning new things about both subjects, and her weapons of choice are her iPhone and Lego minifigures. She currently lives in Antalya, Turkey, with her father and 3 cats. I want to tell you something very interesting about her too. She is the first author of the book on the book subject toy photography in the world history. Okay, that's something very interesting. Okay, so welcome, Pinar. Welcome to the interview. Thank you for coming to the interview.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome. So I want to this is a very interesting topic actually, because we've heard about, there's a lot of books about photography, right? There's a lot of books about taking pictures with your iPhone, taking pictures, landscape, whatever it is. I'm not a photographer, but how new is this topic, toy photography? I never heard about it until we worked together. Like, what is toy photography for those viewers who don't know what toy photography, and what's the history of it?
Well, actually, it's not very new, but it's becoming more public with the social media becoming so famous with Instagram and Flickr and Twitter and stuff like that. But people actually used to take pictures of their toys before, even before there was colored photography or digital cameras. I mean, there were some examples of people taking, pictures of their toys, and basically, it's I see it as creating your own story with the toys. Of course, I mean, you pick a toy and you create a story for it, and then you photograph it, and after a while, toy becomes alive, which is actually the whole idea, I think, behind toy photography.
Now, you say it's through social media. So when did you first discover the whole niche of toy photography? When, like how and when?
It was around 3.5 years ago.
Okay.
My friend insisted that I should create an account on Instagram. I have been avoiding it because I thought it was just about, people posting pictures about the food they eat or the places they go, or, selfies or whatever.
Yes.
But my friend said, no, you should, take a look at it. It's pretty cool. So I started an account. In the beginning, I was, just looking around, and I said to myself, hey, why don't I check a hashtag? The first thing that came to my mind was Lego. Okay. And that actually became the abyss that I fell into, because there were so many photographers, so many people that took the pictures of their Lego minifigures and they posted it online. Some of them were, just doing it for fun. There was no how can I say that? There was no need for, something artistic. They were just doing it for the fun of it. But some of them were really professional, like with the effects and lighting. It was like it wasn't a toy anymore. It didn't look like a picture of a toy anymore. It was like there's this whole other universe, which, let's say, the Lego minifigure is alive, and that person traveled to that universe, took a picture at that perfect second, and then posted it online. Some of them were that good, and that's how I got into it, because I loved Legos, especially the minifigures, and I said, hey, if they can do it, I can do it, and that's how it all started.
Wow, very interesting. So you found it first through Instagram, you searched for Lego, and then as you looked at it, there was a whole community, and it's called toy photography.
Exactly.
Very interesting.
Community isn't called toy photography, but there are toy photography groups on Instagram.
And they know their term toy photography, those people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's quite new though, it's not like it's because of social media. That's very interesting. Now you mentioned you prefer to do Lego. Is there a type of toys that you prefer to photograph specifically?
Yes.
And why? And why?
Well, I like the Lego minifigures because, first of all, they are very easy to carry around. I mean, you can just put two or three of them in your pockets, and you don't even notice they are there. So nothing heavy, or you don't need to carry a big or a small bag, and you just go out. One of the reasons is that, and the other one is like they're really like tiny people. I mean, that's how I see them. But it's been like that since I was a child. Even when I was playing with them when I was a child, I always, wrote little stories like, this is the grandfather, this is the grandmother, these are the siblings, these are the children, blah, blah, blah. And after a while, they became alive in my head. So that's why I prefer to take pictures of them, because it's like they have their own life, and I'm capturing those moments in their lives.
Very interesting. So, for example, for people like you who are toy photographers, when you carry those Lego toys, do you take them to different environments and take a picture and like create a story per Instagram picture? Is that how you guys do it?
It depends. Some photographers create challenges for themselves. For example, they take the picture of the same minifigure in different places, or the minifigure may not matter, but the environment is the same, like the different minifigure in the same environment. Or, collecting minifigures, it's like a curse. But when you start doing it, you can't stop. So after a while, every Lego photographer has more than a handful of Lego minifigures. So if you don't want to take a picture of this one, you can take a picture of the other one, and you can create either a story for one minifigure, or combined, or you can use their original stories, because Lego already creates stories for all of them.
Very interesting. Okay. So what kind of device do you use? And does it matter if you use a camera or a phone?
Well, I think it doesn't. I mean, of course, there are huge differences between the camera and the phone. With like a professional camera, you can do so much more with a professional camera. But in the end, it's how you feel, like towards what you do. And if you are having fun, it doesn't matter if you are using a phone or a camera. For example, I use my phone. Like I have an iPhone 7 Plus, and I use that. And sometimes it's not quite adequate for some scenes. For example, it's hard to take pictures when it's dark, or nighttime, stuff like that, or even when it's too bright, because you can't. There are some adjustments you can make in regular cameras, and some of them are not always available on phone cameras. But I think it doesn't matter in the end.
Right, right, absolutely. It's more about enjoying the hobby, enjoying it, right?
Yes.
Do you prefer indoors or outdoors when doing toy photography, and why?
I prefer indoors. Two reasons. One of them is I'm a bit lazy to go outdoors and, find a place to take the picture. And um, okay, let's just leave that lazy.
That's fine. No, no, no. We're all human beings. We all have that part of us. It's okay.
And the second reason is the weather, actually, because the city I live in, it's like 7 or 8 months of summer, and that summer is way too hot. So
Right.
I, for example, this summer I went out for groceries or something else, some chores, whatever, and I said, okay, since I'm going out, I'll take a few minifigures and take a few pictures in the park. And after 3 or 4 pictures, like there was a lake of sweat around me. I mean, it's after a while, it's like torture taking pictures.
Wow.
But when it's colder during winter, um, well, not I can't even say colder when it's cooler because it doesn't get really cold here. But when it's cooler in winter, I like outdoors because the lighting is so beautiful, and you can never get that kind of lighting indoors, no matter how much uh, lamps or even professional lighting things you use. It's the natural light is so different. It's so I love it. I love to take pictures outdoors when I have the chance. But my
Now, for
preferred choice
someone,
is outdoors.
like, what would be a good toy photography photo and something not as good? Like, what would make something a good quality photo compared to not so good from your experience of shooting a lot of photos with toy photography?
Okay, that's a hard question. Let me think about it. Um, a good photography. Well, um, there are of course many aspects of a good photograph, but I think the main thing is the story behind it. I mean, you may have a bad camera, or the maybe the lighting conditions you were in were not very good, or the background or whatever, but the story and how you portray that story in the photograph is the most important part.
Now, give us an example of a story of a photography, toy photography that you took that comes to mind for you that you can give an example of. What do you mean by story? Like, what's a good story?
um it's a good story.
Like, how do you even come up with these stories? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just curious. Like,
Well, I like to think that the minifigures speak to me. It's like, I know it's a little fantastic, like sci-fi fantasy sort of thing, but
that's fine.
that's how I feel. I mean, I have this little army of minifigure. Like I have over 700
Okay.
minifigures, and they are all on display. And whenever I feel like going out, or in staying inside but taking photographs, and when I don't know what to shoot, I just look at them, and after a while, a picture starts forming in my head, and it consists of either one or two or five or 10, doesn't matter. I mean, that's the story I'm trying to explain, like how that certain minifigure or minifigures make you feel. What do you think about when you look at them? What kind of picture you get in your head when you look at them? Because everyone is different and everyone sees something else when they look at the same thing. I mean, it doesn't have to be a toy or, you know, Lego minifigure, but everyone sees something different. Even when looking at something as simple as a flower, someone may, you know, remember their loved ones. Someone may remember their lost love, or, you know, how they, their first love. I don't know. I mean, I'm just, you know, guessing here, but the thing is, it's like, if there's a minifigure and if I look at it, I'll see something different or picture something different. And if you look at it, you'll picture something different. And the story is of the minifigure is that how you recreate that picture in your photograph.
So it's like first you look at the figures first, and
Yes.
then the ideas come to mind.
Exactly.
And then you readjust the shapes of the toys to sit down here and like that, and you take a picture from your mind what you want to take.
Exactly like that.
Okay, so like for example, right now in your profile right here, there's a picture of a lady resting.
Yes.
How did you, what was the that's a very interesting toy photography right there. Can you explain that and what's the process? Why you chose that picture?
Okay. That
Very,
the
very peaceful picture, by the way.
yeah, it's meant to be like that. It's me. It's actually me taking a break from work and relaxing on
Awesome.
a on a what those I can't remember what those are called, but armchair. Yeah, relaxing on an armchair with my tea next to me, and of course my cats who never leaves me alone. And it's I chose that picture as my profile picture because, like you said, it's a very peaceful picture, and that
Yeah.
that armchair I'm sitting on was ordered piece by piece from the web, and I assembled it. I found some instructions online, and I assembled it, so it was like I got a brand new massage chair, some sort of thing, and I was trying it out in my Lego self.
Now,
And
where
yeah,
do you find these kind of unique parts? Because most people can't find these in their stores. How do you find these unique parts?
there is a web page called Bricklink.
What was it? How do you spell it for the people who will watch this video in the future?
BRICKLINK.
And say it one more time. .com is .com.
Yes, it's .com. BRICKLINK.com. Bricklink.com.
Okay.
It's like Lego bricks, and, you know, links that you click on the web. It's a combination of that Bricklink, and that place. I can't. I mean, if you're starting to
Yes.
collect Lego, don't go there.
Because you get addicted to it.
Because you can find anything and everything. You can get spare hair pieces, you can get head pieces, torsos, legs, accessories, animals, as well as pets. It's an amazing, but you know, after a while, it hurts your pockets. If you know what I mean.
Right. You need to have a budget, right?
Exactly. So that's where I get my spare parts. Apart from my collection, I have this figure you see in the picture is called signature or a signature, and it's a lot of Lego photographers have that because it's like you are on this side of the camera, but you are also on the other side when you have your Sigvic. For example, I've been taking pictures for a long time, but like, if there are, like, let's say 10,000 pictures I have taken in my entire life, there
Yes.
there isn't more than 100 of them in which I'm in. I don't like to be on the other side of the camera.
Really? That's kind of interesting. Really? Why not?
I don't know. I like taking pictures. I don't like being in them.
You're so
But
opposite of the world who all want to take selfies in the world.
yeah, don't get me started on those selfies.
Okay, okay.
But with this signature figure, I can be in the picture as well, and it's, the best part of it is that I can do everything that I can't do in real life.
Say
I
that
don't
one.
know. With my signature figure, with my stick pic, I can do anything that I can't do in real life.
You can do anything, you're saying, with toy photography.
Yes, I can
Right,
take
right, right.
a. No, I'm not saying I can do anything with toy photography, but by using myself as a Lego figure, I can put myself in a situation that I wouldn't normally be in.
Right, I see what you're saying. Give an example real quick, though.
Okay, um, there's Lego made this set a while back about Pirates of the Caribbean, and in real life, I don't think I have any chance of seeing Johnny Depp and taking a selfie with him, but by using my figure and by using his figure made by Legos, I can take a picture of us.
Oh, so there's is limitless potential. With
Exactly.
I see what you're saying. Absolutely, I totally get it. Like you, if you have a thinking, if you have an idea in your mind, you can create that with toy
Yes.
photography.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Now, if there was somebody like I also want to know, this sounds like a community too. Where do other people find other toy photographers?
There are several hashtags in Instagram. Um, there is also a growing group in Google Plus. Um, and actually, apart from those, I'm not very well informed about the communities because I mostly follow Instagram and Google Plus. But there are probably more. There may be on some on Twitter. I don't know. But let me just talk about what I know. Um, on Instagram, there are hashtags like toy photography or toy photographers or Lego photography, and most people use these hashtags, and they find each other. Like when they are looking through the hashtag, they see something they like, they they click on it, and then they see the person who took that picture. And if they like what they see in their gallery, they start following that person. And after a while, um, we start commenting on each other's pictures, and after a while, we start becoming friends
Right.
because we all have this one um, hobby in common, like this toy photography or Lego photography. We all have that. I mean, it's hard to find someone like that in well, I don't want to say in real life, around you, like um, some like in your neighborhood or in your city or even in your country. Sometimes it's
Absolutely.
hard to find people like that because toys are toys. They're for children. They're not. You don't take pictures of them. You play with them when you're a kid, and then you either throw them away or give them away. But this society, this our community is doesn't see toys like that.
Right.
They,
Right.
they don't see toys only like that because after a while you start playing with them because you can't resist. I mean, they're just looking at you. They're standing there and looking at you, and they're like begging you to play with them. So after a
And take a
while,
picture.
sorry, hello.
Begging. No, no. Go ahead.
So after a while, you take one in one hand and the other in the other hand, and you're like, "Hello, how are you? Oh, I'm fine. How are you? How's the stuff like that." You start playing with them, and
Yeah.
After playing with them comes when you're playing with them, actually, sometimes you get inspired. You get your stories when you're playing with them, and you take your pictures. So it's both a plaything and a creative outlet.
Wow. Okay. I see. I see. So it's also like therapeutic too. Right, in a way, taking
Yes,
pictures.
it is. It is very much.
Very, very interesting. For those people out there who maybe who are getting like what advice would you give? What final advice would you give to beginning toy photographers just getting into this, and they sense this is something that they want to go deep into. They totally resonate with what you're saying. Like, what advice would you give like your younger self? You know, people just like you who are just getting started with toy photography to become great at it.
I would say experiment. I mean, use if you are using a phone, you know, try everything, like all kinds of different applications and all kinds of different settings. That try first of all, try everything on your phone. If you know someone who has a camera, borrow it, and explore, experiment with that camera, and try to join if there are workshops, photography workshops around you. Try to join them, because even though they don't take pictures of toys, there's still so much you can learn from them. So
Right.
just try anything and everything, and in time you will see that you will get so much better.
Awesome. So just try it out, just explore and try everything out there. And over time, you get better and better, and just keep doing it. And don't worry about what other people think. Right? That's also important, right?
No, exactly. Don't think about other people, because they will look at you. Even some may take out their phones and take pictures of you, and some of them may come and ask what you're doing. Just find some kind of excuse, like, okay, I'm taking pictures because I'm going to have an exhibition.
Right.
Just, and they will be like, ah, okay, and after that you're free. So just don't mind the other people.
Awesome. Can you briefly, just last question, briefly share what will be covered in the book, like in a summary, like to other people who will get the book? What kind of stuff what kind of valuable advice that they will get once they read this book, Toy Photography 101?
Um, okay, the first thing, I can't summarize my own book.
No worries. If you guys want to know details, you can check out the description and click the link and go to the book description. That's
Yeah,
fine.
that's better.
That's totally fine. That's totally fine. So thank you, Pinar, for this quick interview, being part of this interview for howexpert.com. I appreciate you. And
Thanks a lot.
and for those of you guys who are interested in toy photography or never discovered about this toy photography, this is totally new. It's kind of a new way of taking pictures. Go check out Pinar's book, Toy Photography 101. This is the first book. Again, like I said, this is the first book in the world about toy photography. Okay, so click the link below. Check out the resources. Thank you for being on this interview, Pinar.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and take care, guys. Bye for now.